A guten Erev Shabbos, my dear friends. This Shabbos Parshas Vayigash. Here in Brooklyn, we light candles at 4:24. Ladies, make sure to light the candles. Men, put on their tefillin. And please pray for our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land, for the hostages to be safe and come home very soon, and for Am Yisrael around the world to be safe. We're coming now from this beautiful holiday of Hanukkah. Yesterday was the last day of Hanukkah. The message of Hanukkah, we know, it started with the feeling of urgency on the part of the Maccabees when they saw that their spiritual life was in danger. They didn't think of whether they have a chance. A little few people took on the great, mighty Greek army, and Hashem showed them miracles. We have a similar thing in this week's Torah portion. Vayigash of Yehuda. The Torah tells us Yehuda approaches Yosef. That is after his brother Binyamin, his younger brother Binyamin, is in danger. He is threatened to be taken as a slave in Egypt. And Yehuda forgets any kind of diplomacy. He doesn't talk to him nicely in a diplomatic way. He approaches Yosef and he talks to him very, very tough. What happens? He knows he stands in front of a king, and yet he loses everything. He doesn't do anything diplomatic. And the Rabbi explains, there is a saying in Yiddish, "Wenn sie tut weh, schreit man." When something hurts, you scream. You can use diplomacy when you're not talking about existential matters. But when you're talking about the life, the spiritual life of Binyamin, the young boy that is threatened to be taken away in danger to be in Egypt, Yehuda says there is no diplomacy here. This is a matter of life and death. A similar approach, says the Rabbi, is what we need to have when it comes to a generation of Jewish children that are being threatened to be taken away by the dangers of the world. The sense of urgency is to deliver the message firmly, with love and with passion, but firmly. There's no negotiations. Just like a child, a 2-year-old, is asking for ice cream. There's no negotiation. For the child, the ice cream is existential to him. For us, when we sense a sense of urgency when it comes to Jewish education, this is when we act in the right way. And when we act with that sense of urgency, then we will succeed, just like Yosef. Yehuda was approaching Yosef, and as a result, it made the Jewish people come down into Egypt in a way that they prepared the yeshiva and Torah, and everything was given to them in abundance in the beginning of their exile in Egypt. So too, our sense of urgency will result in good fruit, that our children will see how we feel about Yiddishkeit, about Judaism. They will grow up with a similar sense. And the Rebbe takes it further. The Rebbe says that this is also the way we should ask for Moshiach, the way we should talk to Hashem. The Rebbe bases it on the teachings of Rabbi Elimelech of Lezensk in the book of Noam Elimelech. He talks about in this week's Torah portion, it says, Vayigash of Yehuda, Yehuda approached Yosef. That represents the tzaddik approaching God, in the spiritual, the mystical meaning of it. And when he approached him with war and with prayer. We're approaching, says the Noam Elimelech, Hashem. We approach Hashem. We approach with firmness. We have to ask and demand. We have to ask for Mashiach. We have to ask Hashem for what we need in with such firm asking that we have Hashem sees that it comes from the depth of the heart, with a sense of urgency. We're asking for Mashiach like the child is asking for ice cream. We will surely see the coming of Mashiach very soon. Have a good Shabbos. All the best.